What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Ashley Johnson Cross, with another episode of Live Big. Listen, y'all, I'm super excited. On this channel, I share tips with you every single week on how you can live big in a double-digit world. Hey, I'm already off to a great start, you guys. Join me as I begin to share with you on this week's episode on the art of change. Man, it's going to be a good one. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
You have just tuned into Live Big with your host, Ashley Johnson Cross.
Welcome back to Live Big, everybody. Thank you for everybody that's been supporting this channel. Listen, y'all, we are a fairly new channel, and I'm super excited that many of you have already subscribed, allowing me to come into your home every single week. But if you have not, I want you to take the time right now and subscribe, guys. Subscribe to this channel. As a matter of fact, not just subscribe, but I want you to share this with some other people. We've got some major goals for the next couple of months. We're believing super duper big. I mean, it's live big. So, of course, we're going to believe big. So, I want to make sure you subscribe, share, and also, guys, hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I'm coming on every single week with tips on how you can live big. All right, so I'm going to give probably about 3 tips on the art of change. And I think this is kind of peculiar because so many people say that they want to change. As a life coach, and for more information, you can go to my website, www.ashleyjohnsoncross.com, to learn more information about all of the great things that I've got my hands in. I'd love to have you as my client. But you guys, I've really found that the people that I've worked with and are currently working with, it's one common denominator for everyone, and that is people want to know the art of change. How can I go from point A to point B? How can I make better decisions and better choices? How can I change? And so I truly believe there is an art to possessing the ability to change and make consistent changes. So I'm going to give you a secret before I go into the tips of when I train business and industry and go and speak at different colleges and all that good stuff. I want to tell you a secret that I tell every single leader or potential leader that I train. Are you ready? It's simple. You will always struggle in life and in leadership if you don't have this one quality. What is it? It is the ability to make adjustments. Y'all know I will clap for me. I will do it. It is the ability to make adjustments. I cannot tell you guys how many people from churches to business organizations that struggle to make the adjustments. So if the projector is broken, or you got a PowerPoint presentation, or if you're a minister, you left your notes, or if you are involved in an event and somebody left something crucial, that's where you learn the difference between those that have the next level of leadership, because they possess a quality that a lot of people have not really honed in on, and it is the ability to make adjustments. So I've given you guys one of my secrets on the art of change, which is, do you possess the ability to make minor adjustments in your life to see major gains? So now, you guys, even though there was a point, I mean, wasn't it? Wasn't it good? Because if you breaking down every time something don't go well in life, friend, you're going to always struggle. Oh, I did say it. You're going to always struggle and be challenged if something doesn't go right and you don't know how to rebound. Friend, you don't know how to change. So let's dive into today's content. I feel like I'm already in, friends. Let's talk a little bit more about the art of change. Come on, folks. Let's kick it off with tip number 1. Welcome back. Y'all know I keep the energy level up and always going, you guys. What's up? It's Ashley Johnson Cross with tip number 1 on the art of change. So how can you change? How can you be motivated to change and not remain the same? Can I stay right there? Because a lot of people say that they have changed, but they remain the same. It's almost like an oxymoron. If you're changing, you're not remaining the same. So tip number 1 is when you're changing, think about changing clothes. Normally when you're changing clothes, you're taking something off in order to put something else on. I'm already talking good whether you know it or not. Can I say this? Tip number 1 for the art of change is you've got to take off the old and be willing to put on the new. Some of you say, well, Ashley, that wasn't deep. That wasn't profound. Really think about it, friends. I mean, seriously, think about it. What do you still have on? And a lot of people, when they say they're changing, what they're doing is they're putting new stuff on top of stuff that's old. So if you're struggling in one area, instead of doing the necessary work and taking that area off and discarding those old garments, a lot of people are walking around heavy. And what do I mean by that? You carrying so much because you're not willing to discard the old to make room for the new. So I'm asking you today, friend, what do you need to change? What is it that you're holding on to that it's making you feel heavy? It's making you feel weighted down. Is it an old mindset? Is it an old habit that maybe is generational? It's something that your mom did or your grandmother did, or it's something that your dad did or your grandfather did. But here's my question, and I'm not trying to be ugly. How's it working for you? I did say it. In order for you to change, seriously, you're going to have to do the soul work and take off the old and make room for the new. Question on the floor is, are you ready to change? All right, you guys. So I want to know, what do you think about tip number 1? I've already given you a little secret, my secret about the ability to make adjustments, which is absolutely critical to you wanting to elevate, go to another level. More than anything, it's critical to your change. But tip number 1 was make sure you are willing to take off the old garments, old habits, old mindsets, and be willing to put on something new. Woo! That was good to me, y'all. All right, so let's dive into tip number 2. All right, tip number 2 is so good, simple yet profound. Hear me, because some of you are saying, well, Ashley, I'm just going to be the change. That's what we hear right now. Be the change. Be the change. Be the change. Friend, if you don't know how to change, how you going to be the change? See, this is deep. It's deeper than you think it is. It's so deep, it's simple. How in the world are you going to be the change if you don't even know how to change? See, I'm trying to help somebody that's been meditating on that and wonder why ain't nothing changed in your life. Get it? All right. So tip number 2 is this. You're going to have to research the area where you need to change. This is really profound. For some reason, society has really done a doozy teaching people that you can get something for nothing. Everything is accelerated. Everybody wants to get on YouTube and do one video and go viral. And I believe all of that is possible. But even if you do, in order to maintain that accelerated pace, there's a work that's going to have to be required. You're going to have to get on. You're going to have to edit. You're going to have something to talk about. You're going to have to be able to maintain your audience. And for those of you that say, you know what, I want to change. I want to change financially, or I want to change spiritually, or this year, 2020 is my year. Woo! We know we've been saying it. But notice, have you noticed as the year progresses, less and less people are beginning to say it? Why? Because there's a disconnect between what we say and the work that is required to actually see the change. So you're going to have to spend some time researching the area that you want to change. For example, if you want to change in the area of your finances, you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to literally get maybe a coach or get some research on how you can change your spending habits. You don't want to always be the consumer. You want to be the owner. Then you need to start researching other people that have been successful at changing from the consumer and now they're the owner. You want to change in the area of your relationships. I want to attract something different. You do realize that until you do some changing, you're going to continue to attract and get what you've always got. And so, friends, I really want to stir you up. Y'all know I like to get you moving. I like to motivate you. I like to stir up your intellect and your mind. There is no way that you can adequately change without doing the necessary work. You're going to have to spend some time researching the area where you feel like you need change. The question on the floor is, hey, if you've got at least maybe 3 areas that you want to change, kind of rank them, you guys, in an order of importance. Research that change and watch things change in your life. It's review time. Before we get to tip number 3 on the art of change, how can you change? It's an art, you guys. It's just some simple things of science that you need to do to be successful in the area of change. So let's review, everybody. So the first thing we said was, really was a secret and not really a tip, is people that are effective in leadership and really been successful in life regarding change is they possess the ability to make minor or large adjustments. Oh, one day I'm going to have a DJ behind me on these channel episodes. Woo! I feel like I need somebody behind me right now. But seriously, guys, you've got to possess the ability to make adjustments. If you're still falling apart every time something breaks down, you're going to have to begin to train yourself to change. How do I shift in a different environment? That is the difference between being a follower and a leader. So stay tuned, you guys. I will definitely be doing an episode on what it takes to be an effective leader. That's for another day, right? All right, so tip number 1 was you've got to be willing to take off the old and put on the new. What? Sounds simple, but if you're walking around and you're heavy, it could be that you're not willing to take off the old. You just keep stacking on stuff on top of stuff. And I'm telling you, you really want to be successful, you really want to see change in your life, there's just some stuff you're going to have to take off in order to put something new on. Right. All right. And tip number 2 was you're going to have to spend the time researching the area that you need change in. If you need change in the area of renewing your mind or thinking, I don't know why you spend a lot of time reading a romance novel. And I love you and I love everybody. But if I'm spending an adequate amount of time reading something that's not benefiting me in the area that I really, really, really need change in, it's nothing wrong with entertainment. It's nothing wrong with all of it. I believe in all of that. But when you really get serious about change, you're going to research the area that you need change in the most. And then you're going to watch that research come on the inside when you begin to do something with it, right? So that's number 2. So I want to make sure before we get to tip number 3, thanks, you guys, for rocking with me. I love y'all. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like and share, everybody. The art of change is what everybody wants to know how to do. So don't click off before you hear tip number 3. Stay tuned. What's up, you guys? We are here at our final tip for this week's episode, The Art of Change. I'm Ashley Johnson Cross, and this is tip number 3. You're going to have to discipline yourself in the details. I'll say it again. Discipline yourself in the details. Oh, yes. A lot of times people say they want to change. And I want you to know change is not cheap. It's not. When you want to upgrade to a new car or upgrade to a new house, normally it's going to cost you something. When you want to upgrade in your mind, when you want to upgrade in your relationships, it's going to cost you something. Change is not cheap. So if you've made up in your mind that you've been inspired, that you know, hey, Ashley, there's some areas in my life I've just been wanting to change. then one of the keys is you're going to have to discipline yourself in the details. So for example, if you want to change in the area of your spending habits, then you're going to have to, you don't need to make a budget for the month. You don't even need to start there. And I know some people are saying, what? No. If you know that you have no discipline at all, then you need to discipline yourself in the details of each day. Yeah, I did say that. Oh, that was good. That was good. Discipline yourself in the details of the day. For example, this is what I plan to spend today. This is what I might need to sacrifice today. This is what I may need to sow today. This is what I may need to enjoy today. But you need to discipline yourself in the details of the day. And one day, before you know it, one day you've been disciplined for a day. You've been disciplined for a week. And a couple of weeks add up to a month. Couple of months add up to a year. Y'all see where I'm going, don't you? This is the secret, y'all. A lot of people are saying, do it for the 30 days. Ashley is saying, how am I successful and how am I continuing to grow in certain areas? I am reminding myself, though at times it's painful, that I've got to discipline myself in the details of each day. Y'all, that was flat out good to me. You're going to have to discipline yourself. Don't try to worry about next week, friend. Some of you really, really, really know that change is necessary, but you need to discipline yourself in the details of the day. Thank you for rocking with me on this week's episode of Live Big, where every single week we give you tips on how you can live big. Listen, you guys, today we taught and covered on the art of change. I don't care how old you are, you can apply the principles that were given in this week's episode today. Listen, watch this episode a couple of times until you can get something down deep in your spirit, uproot the old and put on the new. Listen, you guys, this is Ashley Johnson Cross with Live Big, and I want to remind you that whatever you're going to do, friend, you might as well do it big. Make sure you subscribe, you guys. See y'all next week.